Welcome, you pathetic, disgusting, organic humanoid. It's me, earthmanbrick. Time for another MDF build, because I love the smell of this stuff, and it makes for an easy time-lapse vid. Today's build is a new for me at least, MDF terrain company, Warcradle Scenics. Much like Foreground, they print most of their kits on pre-coloured MDF sprues, which means we'll get a whole lot of extra MDF sprue frames afterwards, which we can repurpose for many future projects. Nice. We'll start out by making the Gloomhaven Stables kit, but I'm getting ahead of myself because the Stables is part of a larger multi-pack kit that I bought, the Gloomhaven Sprawl set, which I'll unbox right now in this separate segment before starting the build. Catch you again soon. Hello there, it is I, earthmanbrick, and we've got a big juicy one today. Look at all this. This is all MDF kits from Warcradle Scenics, and this is one hell of a big box. Look at this. Ugh, it's freaking massive and bloody heavy too. Crikey. So yes, in here we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 MDF separate kits. And I'm just going to unbox this and open it up, and we're going to make up one of these kits. I don't know which one yet, but I'll soon figure it out. Ugh. Ugh. So tear off this saran wrap. There's a picture. Ugh. There we go. One Mahasufi box. Ugh. Come on. Oh dear. This is one of those occasions where you realize maybe I should have brought scissors. But I've already started, so I shall persevere. There we go. And we get bubble wrap. Oh my goodness, you can't experience this at home, but I am flooded, absolutely flooded with the smell of scorched MDF. And it smells like victory. So, this is part of the individual kit here. This looks like the wagon, some boxes, and notice board. What's that? A guillotine for chopping off heads. And that looks like, I forget what you call it. What's the term? It's when people put their head and hands and put in there and shackles for shame, and they throw toss old fruit at them. Yes, very progressive society. So yes, it looks like these kits aren't actually, I feel like it's Christmas come early. Look at all this. This is all push-out bits. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of extra bits from this. That's going to be exciting, because these are meant to be typically hollow like this bit here, but these are all going to be push-outs. And they're already pre-colored as well, so we can use them for other buildings and get-ups as well. In fact, this is actually a bit grossly inefficient here. Look at all that wasted space. All these gaps. They could have filled that with, and made a better use of the space like they've done with this one. Although there is a few gaps here as well. I mean, I don't get that. It seems like poor design. They could have filled this up with, I don't know, just even a simple rubble pile or something. Anything. Nah. But who am I? I'm just a humble
humble little crafter. So we've actually got the names of the kids here. No pictures or anything though. I guess the only pictures we have is the ones here. It's kind of like when you buy a multi-pack. Oh my goodness. These designs aren't that old. Back in 2020. Gosh. Anyway, that's a couple of them. This is another one here. This is the Bloomberg Stable. So this is I was gonna call it the Wibbly Wobbly fence, but it's more like a wanky fence. I need to keep referencing this picture here. Oh my god, it's stuck to the sellotape. I can't quite get to it. There we go. So that's a stable there, and there's a Wibbly Wobbly fence. It is very wanky. I don't think I'll be making it with that. I think I'd rather make my own fences. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we'll save those bits and use them for something else. Like the perfect design of it, you could use it as a yoke for a carriage. That would be ideal. And I can probably come up with other ideas for using it. But until we come up with something golden, we can just keep it in the sprue frame. Doesn't look like we've lucked out with this one. There's no push-outs. Not even on the smallest bits. That's a shame. On to the next one, until we empty this box. Well, we get one push-out here, and this is the Gloomburg's Ramshackle residence. That looks like one giant push-out with a little bit snuck in there. That's a bit more of an efficient use of space. Still a big gap here that could have filled. And that's a nice note of red. Yeah, looking good. What's this one? Bloomberg ruined Ramshackle residence. And I love this. Look at that, it's like it's already textured. Marvelous. Might have to clean up some of these scorch marks. Just going to give it a quick sniff. There's a little push out there. Not sure I can do much with it. I love the smell of scorched MDF. It smells amazing. Oh, and this is a big one. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Lots of sprues. And this is the biggest one here, which is the Bloomsburg Tavern. If we go back to our reference sheet here, it must be that one. Nice. Yeah. So we'll be making up one of these. Looking forward to it already. Yep, aside from the bubble wrap, what we're left with is the big ass box. It's pretty cool. So yes, which one shall we start out with then? I suppose if we start off with the stable here and the carriage, then we already know that we're going to ignore the fence. So that makes it a nice, easy little build. Yeah, let's start with that. Let's make ourselves a little shed. Or stable. So if we're making a stable, it would probably be best to include some horses. I don't think I've got any horses. Something I might need to invest in. Though, I'm not sure. I mean, if it's for Mordheim, you wouldn't see the horses still in the stables. They would have been rotted and, perhaps some horse skeletons. That'd be nice. Add a bit more grim to the grim dark. Anyway, I'm going to sign out now. Back to the rest of the video for you lot. Farewell.
And you're back? Oh wait, so am I apparently. Seems you can't quite get rid of me that easily. So, here we are popping out the bits of the sprue. Came out rather easily. Didn't even need the knife this time. Usually with other kits, like the TD Combat ones, you need a knife to cut out some of the pieces because they're quite stuck in there. Once I got all the pieces out of the sprue frames, it dawned on me that there were no instructions. Fortunately, they're all available online and seem to be better illustrated too than the other companies. I'm looking at you, TD Combat. Nah. Not that I even bothered, since I intended not to use them, since I would be doing a lot of customization on this particular project. Speaking of which, I noticed that only one side of the MDF terrain had been etched, meaning there were 0 details on the reverse sides. To fix this, I attached and snapped wooden stirrers to the reverse. The troughs too also seemed a bit too boxy for my liking, so I cut off the edges and re-angled them, and placed on stirrers too. Lastly, I looked up a method I learned from Knight of Dice, to whittle the edges of the terrain, to make the corners less sharp. Worked an absolute treat too. In fact, he does some brilliant terrain himself. Highly recommend following his channel. I added some hole-punched card to make the caps for the plough wheels, and a thin layer of card to the outer trim, to resemble a metal tread. If I had some thread handy, I would have added rope to the thing too, but it didn't really need it, so why give myself extra work unnecessarily? Yes, I'm quite good to myself, but not to you lot, bleh. I also made up some hay too, made up of some poundland garden string, and after painting the build, I've added a few little tufts here and there, and then I've also filled the troughs with some PVA to give a kind of water effect. It's subtle, but effective. But that's it for the first of the Gloomhaven builds, and I'm pretty impressed with it. I think it's turned out rather nicely. But I'm not going to get into the other kits anytime soon because I've got sculpts, scratch builds, and other sort of kit bashes to do, and maybe even a toy bash, who knows. Ooh, I spoil you lot, I certainly do. But yes, I will be getting back to other MDF kits. But I don't want to pigeonhole myself into doing just one type of video. Variety, after all, is the spice of life, and I do like my pepper and condiments. But where was I? Oh yes, please let me know in the wordy box section below what you think Super Ted's secret words are.
Tell me the magic word, Super Ted.
No!
But I won't tell anyone else.
No, Spotty.
Well, if there were two of us who knew it, but we could help people much more easily.
No,
Well, why not?
because it's a secret.
Well, if we're friends, we shouldn't have secrets from each other. We should... Oh, no. What now?
Because it's always been a mystery to me, and I'd like to know, because not knowing these things actually bothers me. It's such a strange show, that one. I mean, why did he call his friend Spotty? Poor Spotty has a horrendous acne problem, and calling him that is hardly going to improve his self-esteem, now is it? What a twat you are, Mr. Super Ted. Well, I thank you from the lowest cavity of my heart for watching this absolute garbage video. I appreciate you suffering through this ordeal with me, and I'm glad to be rid of you now, so bye. Oh, and Mr. Super Ted, if you're watching, I think you're a pajama-clad prick, so you can bugger off too. Bye.